Good morning, St. Louis, and welcome in to the Randy Karraker Show featuring Brooke Grimsley. Neither of those people are here, but we're here to break down a college football Saturday slate for you. It's a slate today, Joe. It's certainly a slate today.
Games will be played.
Yeah, scrappy, other words you could potentially use as well. Games will be played in college football.
I didn't think the S was supposed to be there.
No, I had a little bit of typo, but it's too late to fix it now.
Oh, well.
Missouri Tigers obviously are not in action today. They are off. Next week, they'll be facing off against Alabama, but Alabama has a pretty big game this week that maybe could force how well the game is regarded next week between Alabama and Missouri. And then, of course, is Alabama facing off against Vanderbilt.
So going into last week, going into the Georgia-Alabama game, my hope was that Bama would lose to Georgia, lose to Vanderbilt, and then that'd be 3 losses for Bama, and they would just shut down their season. Like 3 losses now in the new playoff era. 3 losses, you're done. You're not,
Brody Croyle all over again, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we are.
Yeah, that was my hope for that. Now I don't know what I hope, because if you lose to Vandy,
it's possible.
Then you face a desperate, hungry Alabama next week. But if you win, then they're on a roll, right? Then they're hot. They're on a winning streak. They've beaten SEC opponents, and I don't know which Alabama you would rather have coming in to Columbia.
If you're a Tiger fan, I think you'd rather have the Alabama on a roll, because it's Alabama. They've been on a roll for 2+ decades. They're stumbling a little bit. We'll catch them now. A pissed off Alabama that's playing for their coach's life. Ooh, I don't want to face off against that if I'm the Missouri Tigers. The matchup this week, though, is in Tuscaloosa. Home favorites, the Alabama, gets 10.5 points, and your over/under is 55.5 in this game. 2:30 p.m. kickoff, the early game on the ABC slate. Obviously, Diego Pavia.
Game day there for that, so you have everything that goes around that. Nick Saban back in Tuscaloosa.
Ooh.
Looking over the shoulder of Kalen DeBoer. You just know that's gonna. Did they go to Tuscaloosa at all last year?
Game day?
Yeah,
that's a good question.
I mean, it seems like they're there every other week. I'm just trying to I don't know if they were there at all last year. They did Alabama games last year, but even though last year, at what point was his job? Was the Kalen DeBoer was his job in question last year? When was he on the hot seat? Last year, was it the Vandy?
They were in Tuscaloosa for number 4 Alabama, number 2 Georgia, which Alabama won.
And then that was before Alabama went and lost to Tennessee and to Vandy.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
So Oklahoma and Vandy. Yeah. So that was before they lost games, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Kalen DeBoer has not had to, he already plays on Nick Saban Field. He hasn't had to play while Nick Saban was there. I'm
sorry. I can't hear Nick Saban and then have him associated with Alabama without just thinking about, well, me and Miss Terry had dinner with a couple of these players, and she looked at me and she goes, "This isn't why we came here." Because all the players were talking about making money.
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't get over just how hypocritical and ridiculous that entire anecdote was.
It's like
now every time I hear from Saban, I'm just like, you quit because you were angry the players started making money. I can't get over that.
And now he's turned into a pretty damn good media personality.
He's incredible. Yeah. And that's because his adopted son is forcing him in all the pranks and the fun stuff. And for some reason, Pat McAfee has this ability. I think it's because he doesn't care.
Yeah.
That Saban eventually just was like, yeah, I'm gonna let this rambunctious person adopt me as his grandpa.
He did the same thing with Michael Cole with the WWE.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He has a way of just working his way in there and making somebody change the way they've been living their life for the last 30 years and getting a whole new personality to open up.
And see, part of me wants to say, man, Saban, apparently you're a fairly flexible person. Yeah. Maybe you could have pivoted and kept Alabama alive. And this is why people think he's going to be a coach again, because this kind of he's
I dare say game day. Stay on game day.
I dare say he's vivacious, Joe.
Stay on game day and just ease into that role the way you have been the last 2 years. I'm fine with that. Also, apparently that's going to be that I don't know if he's on the sideline, if he's going to be there. Have you seen the Johnny Manziel, Diego Pavia stuff?
No.
That apparently Johnny Manziel is mentoring Diego Pavia. Like,
see, I was going to see Joe ruins. Joe is the perfect guy for the best plans of mice and men often go awry. Because I was going to sit here and I wasn't going to fall into the trap that is mentioning Johnny Manziel against Alabama this week during the Diego Pavia hype.
he's like he's mentoring,
and you had to just walk up to me and just push me over the cliff. Just a little push right over the cliff into this Diego Pavia, Johnny Manziel stuff. I was going to avoid this, but yeah, because it's you naturally want to. It's like this playmaking little 5'11" running white boy quarterback. I can't help but make the comparisons, but I think they're completely different players. I think.
He says Johnny Manziel said, "I learned from my mistakes, brother. Learn from Johnny. Don't be Johnny off the field."
Yeah, be fearless on the field, not off. Because
even though he's like hanging out, and I mean, nothing wrong with Theo Vaughn, but he's out there, betting his mom with Theo Vaughn.
The thing about the Alabama like Johnny Manziel game is just like, even if Diego Pavia has that kind of reckless abandon, that wild playmaking aura that Johnny Manziel had, it's a completely different. It's like when I see running quarterbacks now and people are like, oh, he's like Cam Newton. No, he's not. One of one. Yeah. Johnny Manziel is one of one because Diego Pavia, I don't care how much he is like Johnny Manziel. If a pass is batted back towards Diego Pavia, he's not going to then catch his batted pass, spin back around, and gain 15 yards on the run, or whatever crazy ass other plays Johnny Manziel pulled off to beat Alabama that night. Diego Pavia is not that level.
You're gonna hate this comment that Pavia made. This is according to On3 that Pavia talked about. He said
at this point I had to ask who from On3.
He did say that he wears number 2 because of Johnny Manziel.
Okay.
But he says you're a big basketball guy.
Mm-hmm.
He says, imagine getting the opportunity to kick it with Magic and Bird.
That's not the same. Oh, no, that's not the same.
Compared Johnny Manziel to Magic Johnson and Larry Bird.
I don't like that at all.
What's the draft? DraftKings has it at Alabama 10.5 favorite.
Yeah, I believe so.
I'm going to bet Alabama. That 10.5 favorite. If Diego Pavia is out there comparing Johnny Manziel to Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, that game in Tuscaloosa.
Here's what I'm waiting for.
I think I'm going Alabama.
I'm staying away.
Touchdowns.
I'm staying away from minus 10.5 until
that's a big number.
Until Vanderbilt scores the first touchdown of the game on a Diego Pavia running touchdown or something like that. And he goes like this to the crowd. And then at that moment, I'm going to live bet hammer whatever it is on Bama money line. As soon as like Vanderbilt scores the first touchdown, he gives the Manziel money signs. And I go, oh, there's the Alabama money line. There's my mortgage. There's my mortgage. Because if he does that, they're going to rip his head off. And it's going to be a fantastic game.
Yeah. So that's what sucks is I know we got other games to get into, but
it's such a fun game.
This is the game this weekend. Like this is the game to watch. There's not a whole lot else.
Well, yeah, because
on the docket this weekend.
I don't care about Florida State after what happened. You lost to Virginia.
Yeah,
you are the victims of the greatest field storming in the history of sports.
That was a fun one. And there's no games on. You see, that's okay. So now you have, there might be games on Friday nights as we, that's when
yes, there's one recorded game on Friday night. Okay. One recorded game. One game with a ranked team on Friday night.
Okay. Which game is that? I was looking at it. I didn't see. Oh, that's West Virginia BYU.
Thank you.
But we're recording this on Friday. Outside of that, like it sucks as you look at some of the other matchups this weekend because we'll get into this tomorrow too on the NFL games. It's just seems like a down weekend of football. Those tend to turn into some of the best ones out there, but any upset opportunity, it seems like the higher seeds are at home, and those upsets when the home team loses, when the home team gets upset, just aren't as much fun.
Yeah, we do have some goofy ones. Cincinnati is a home favorite facing off against number 14 Iowa State. It's only 1.5 though, so neutral site. That would be Iowa State, but still, I'm a big Iowa State guy because I love me some of the Beck family. Of course, head coach of the Battlehawks, his son Rocco Beck is the quarterback for the Iowa State Cyclones. So them giving up points, despite the fact that it is an away game, it's an away match. It's an away game in Cincinnati, and I don't think the Kelseys or Taylor Swift are scheduled to be there. So I don't see any issue there. Michigan has a huge line at home against Wisconsin. I know Wisconsin's not good, but an almost 20-point line for a home Big 10 rivalry game is always potentially funny. And then this one,
these other Big 10 games, by the way, this is I am all for conference expansion. I am all for just these massive conferences that stretch coast to coast.
Illinois USC is legitimately fun because of the Rose Bowl kind of history, but there are some that I just
you have Penn State traveling to Los Angeles to face UCLA. The big thing to watch there, first off, you have a pissed off Penn State team and a UCLA team that has not led for a second yet this season. They're 0-4 and have not had the lead in any single game yet this year.
And they got to pump up their new coach or interim coach.
Yeah. And then you also have Washington is going to Maryland.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Yeah, which that's at least they gave them a 2:30 start time for that one and didn't give them like the 11 a.m. start time once they go there.
And right along that, I know this one jumped out to me because it's right there on the scoreboard. If you're looking at, let's say, on your ESPN app, it's Louisville at home giving up almost a touchdown against Virginia, who's ranked 24th and obviously just pulled off the home upset against Florida State. So you're getting Louisville at home, and they're giving up a huge amount of points. If you're confident in this Virginia team, again, I was just talking about the Florida State game. I'm not that confident in this Virginia team, but if you're confident in this Virginia team being, that they beat a good Florida State team and therefore this is a good Virginia team, then hammer the fact that they're getting points even on the road against Louisville. It's Louisville football. I mean, Lamar Jackson's not throwing the ball there, is he?
I have not seen a whole lot of Louisville
Brian
football
Brom's not throwing
this year.
He's the quarterback. Is he still the coach?
But for Louisville to be 4-0 and not be ranked yet is a bit surprising.
He's the offensive coordinator. Brian Brom, their former quarterback, is the offensive coordinator and the quarterbacks coach for Louisville. I'm just saying, if you like Virginia after watching them beat Florida State, maybe that's something you're liking today because there's some.
I go the opposite way with that.
All right,
I go the opposite way with that because they are coming off such a high.
Yeah,
and they had this. Now they have to go to Louisville to go play them. That's where I'm kind of down on that, and I think I'd go Louisville in that game.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. So, and that's, what did you say? It was a 1 point, West Virginia 1 point favorites?
No, Virginia's giving up 6.5.
Oh, I thought you said it was.
Sorry. Virginia's getting 6.5. Excuse me. I'm not giving up. Virginia's getting 6.5. So Virginia, the ranked team on the road, is still giving up almost a full touchdown to the home team Louisville. And again, Louisville's 4-0. They got a solid offense. But I'm just saying that's a number that's going to jump out to me after the big weekend from Virginia. And maybe it's your point. You say this is them over hedging Virginia. Yes. Take Louisville stomping a team that's on the high and has to travel. All Louisville's got to do is win by 10. I don't know. Maybe is this like
10's a lot, but I could definitely say I think this is Vegas's way of Vegas's way of saying, hey, listen, like we saw your win, we saw the field rushing. We don't think that. That you can maintain that on the road.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they're questioning.
Yeah,
and we'll see who comes out on top.
Yeah. So outside of that, I wish that Mississippi State was hosting Texas A&M because I could be talked into that. If that was flipped, I can't be talked into that with Texas A&M on the road. The one to watch then.
Mississippi State might screw around and give us something. Same thing with. Like Georgia's not unbeatable, and I'm kind of wondering, are they just going to turn? How bad are they going to pump Kentucky? Because obviously, I think the experiment in Lexington has finally gone awry for the football program. So I know there's not a lot of great SEC games, but just like looking at the slate, it's like, could Kentucky maybe keep it interesting for the first half? Same thing. We talked to Brett Bielema. Go to the SEL Sports Central video page, and you can see our interview with Brett Bielema. Me and Randy Karraker talked with him about it. Them against Purdue, there's no reason that game should be close. They should put pedal to the metal. Maybe you run a couple more trick plays and win that one by like 20 or 30.
This is a test this week, and I'll give you one upset to watch. And I wish it was an earlier game. Houston hosting Texas Tech. Texas Tech wins this game. Are they legitimate play? Are they a legitimate playoff team out of the Big 12?
Well, you had me. You had me in those first words, and then you used the back half of that sentence. So no.
There's a guy out there too that I think still the one reason to
I don't respect
Tech.
12.
I believe there's the one guy
line.
out there that said he was going to do something with a frozen burrito if Texas Tech was ranked number 1 at any point this year.
Listen, we did that last year. We don't need to be doing this multiple years in a row, people. We've already done this. We can come up with other more clever things, maybe other orifices. Orify.
But again, they're ranked 11th right now in the Big 12, but they are 11.5 point favorites over Houston, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be kind of a jerk about any Big 12 team and things like that. Listen,
this and at Arizona State, their 2 biggest tests the rest of the year for the Red Raiders.
So that means their biggest tests will at the end of the season, when I'm looking at their schedule, their big test will have been who?
At Houston. Well, they won at Utah last week. Okay, 34-10.
Okay.
So Houston and Arizona State, and as you they are 4th right now in points per game, 52 points per game for Texas Tech. In that, Houston averaging 31 points per game. Over under in this game is 52.5.
This is why I in this moment I just need to can I phone a friend for because my sarcasm isn't going to hit exactly as hard as it should here. I need to phone in the most supremacist of all the conference elitists that we have. I need Brendan Schaefer to sub in here for me and react to you trying to sell a Big 12 team as a legitimate football team.
I didn't say
I feel like if Brendan was here, he would either laugh or refuse to accept the premise of the question, or he'd put on his sunglasses, or there'd be some other reaction better than mine to you trying to tell me a Big 12 team is a legitimate football program.
No, didn't say that. What I said was playoff team. What I said was they would be in the playoffs.
You agree with Eli Drinkwitz on Wake Up Barstool yesterday that the playoff system as it is currently broken.
It's representation matters. And if you win your conference and you are ranked in the top 12, then yes, you should deserve to get to play in that. And then exposed immediately.
Okay, fine.
I'm fine with.
I'd like to figure out a way to expose teams before the playoff. That would be.
But that's what playoffs are for.
No, the regular season is for exposing what teams are. That's
but not when you're in a conference that doesn't allow you to get exposed.
Well, now you've gotten to the crux of the matter. Thank you very much.
But that's where conferences come into play. Again, that's why it's fine to have a 12 and 16 team playoff and just get a team get the absolute shit stomped out of them in the game.
I really don't enjoy the playoff stompings. They piss me off because all I think about is what team should have been there. What team could have given them a run? How could we have built this a little bit better? That's all I think about when I see the stompings. I don't think about it's fun to watch people dominate. That I think about there could have been this could have been a closer football game.
Yeah, I go with, you know what? Hey, if you wanted it, go out there. You'll get the Boise States of the world that'll shock everybody and win a game like that.
A lot more fun of a story when you have Ashton Genty, doesn't it?
Right. So that's just kind of, but again, it's a long way to go in all of this. And I still go back to the beginning where I don't know what I want from Alabama this weekend.
That is the rest of the week 6 slate in college football. Like we said, we've already had one ranked team play on Friday night. We recorded this on Friday. So I'm sure if I was a betting man, I would bet that BYU absolutely works over West Virginia. So can the rest of the ranked teams carry that water? Can they keep on winning? Can they all take down their non-ranked or below-ranked opponents. We'll see again 2 ranked matchups. We got Vandy and Alabama coming up at 2:30, and then we have Florida State, still ranked, versus Miami, legitimate, coming up at the 6:30 slate. Those are our 2 ranked matchups, and then we got a spread of the other 20 some odd teams spread out throughout the day. You can catch the post-game shows for the Fighting Illini today right here on STL Sports Central. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the bell button. That way you know when the Illini guys are going live today after that big win against Purdue. Knock on wood. This has been STL Sports Central. This has been the Randy Karraker Show special little college football breakdown. For Joe Roderick, I'm Matthew Rocchio, and we will talk to you on Monday at 3 p.m. Have a great day, St. Louis.